The Pitchsider. Pitchside for every game.
Hello and welcome back to the Pitchsider Podcast. So we've had another week gone past in the transfer window as the season draws closer. We're now less than 14 days away from the start of the season, with many non-league and League 1 and 2 teams starting their games next week. And also we have the Carabao Cup to look forward to in the coming week. But let's start off with this week, and we've had a few news stories, so let's get into that. So starting with the news, Juventus have been kicked out of the European Conference League by UEFA for breaching FFP rules, and they've been fined for breaching these rules as well. European's football governing body has also fined Chelsea for these rules. Regarding Chelsea, UEFA say this is a matter relating to transactions that took place between 2012 and 19 under the Roman Abramovich, and Chelsea have been fined 8.57 million. The Blues spent around 600 million on new players since Todd Boehly has taken charge, but the fine relates to the 7-year period between while Roman Abramovich had control of the club. Following the sale in May 2022, the new ownership have identified and proactively reported this to UEFA, and this is properly in completed financial records under the club's previous ownership. Chelsea are fully cooperating with UEFA in their investigations and have had entering into a settlement with the government. The Italian club Juventus have been fined 17.4 million for their breach, and they will be likely to pay half of their fine over the next 3 years to comply with the regulations. The Italian FA will now notify which club will replace Juventus in the third tier of the European competitions, and it's likely to be Fiorentina, who were beaten by West Ham in last year's final after they finished 8th in Serie A. And the case follows a 718,000 euro fine in euros as part of a settlement agreed with the Italian authorities over the case involving payment salaries, and they've also been deducted 10 points in the Serie A following a hearing to the club's transfer dealings. They initially handed a 15 points in January, but the Italians' highest sporting court overturned this decision in April, and all the cases be re-examined. If they didn't, they would have been finished 4th and would have been in the Champions League had they not been sanctioned. In response to the charges, Juventus has said that they accept UEFA's decision and will not be lodging an appeal. The club's president said, "We regret the decision of UEFA. We do not share interpretation, but it has been given in our defence, and we remain firmly convinced that our legitimacy of our actions." However, they have not decided to appeal this judgment, lodging an appeal possibly to other levels of judgment with uncertain outcomes and timings would increase the uncertainty and respect of our eventual participation in 2024 and 2025 UEFA Champions Leagues if they reach this. So this looks like it's going to drag on a little bit, but yeah, they've just paid it and that's it. Juventus have knocked them out of next year's competitions, which could be good for them. Following, they need a rebuild, but it's going to be interesting to see whether some of their players will now leave not having European formats. The final bit we want to talk about also involves SFP, and this involves Wolves. So even though Wolves are selling some of their players, they're still in trouble. They are experiencing a difficult summer, and they're trying to rebuild and refresh their entire squad while answering a broader challenge. The Wolves owners require a profit this summer, a big one. It's a period unlike anything we've seen since the new owners bought the club in 2016, and it widely immense speculation of the club is going to be for sale. They need to bring in money more than they spend due to part of a risk breaching the financial rules of the Premier League on profit and sustainability, known commonly as FFP. But the issue is broader than simply staying within the rules. The current owners have invested a lot of money, and they've written off a £126.5 million loan in the 2020-21 accounts, and at least partly funded around the £175 million spending in the past 2 transfer windows. Now they want to return from their investment, not on the pitch but also on the balance sheets. Match ticket prices were hiked this week by an average of 6% for adults, as fans feel the cost of the problem. Balancing the books, potentially change of ownership are long-term issues, but for now their focus is on the next fight. Next week's leading up to the Premier League and the end of the season, but yeah, they definitely need to make a profit before they can move on. They need players, they have targets, and they're targeting Bristol City's teenager Alex Scott and West Ham's fullback Aaron Croswell, as well as by British Mönchengladbach's defender Nico Alamaun remain in the pipework. They have signed Tom King and Matt Doherty, as well as selling Ruben Neves, Nathan Collins, Connor Cody, and a few more. Raul Jimenez has also gone to Fulham, which is probably what will make up some of their money. But yeah, they need to start making more money. At the moment, they are fully in profit. Both their transfers have come in from free. But yeah, the suggestion that FFP is not an issue would be misleading. Wolves declared a £46 million loss in the 2020-21, and any further analyst is based on education guesswork, as no information has been published beyond May 2022, but figures within the club approximately an £80 million loss in 2022-2023. Wolves would be at risk, as the maximum permitted is £105 million loss. So they are currently about 30 to 20 million over, at which they need to provide in profit in the summer, but also spend money. So at the moment, they have balanced the books, but they still need to buy a few new players. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, definitely as this develops, we'll keep you more up to date. Let's move on to some confirmed transfers. So on the 25th, as we mentioned, Raul Jimenez went to Fulham. Burnley have signed Lucas Kolosko for £12.6 million, and Anthony Elanga has moved from Manchester United to Forest for £15 million. Udinese have signed Kalbowski from Watford. Sam Sarrage has gone from Forest to Nashville. On the 26th, Brighton signed Igor Julian from Fiorentina for £14.5 million. Jack Henry has gone to Al Ittihad to join Gerrard. Isco has joined Real Betis on free. Jordan Henderson has also left the Premier League for Al Ittihad for £12 million. Burnley have loaned Hoffenheim player Bruno Larsen. In Bournemouth have loaned Inter Milan player Radu. Morris has joined Al Hilal for £30 million after leaving City. Calvin Bassey has joined Fulham from Ajax after he moved last summer from Celtic to Ajax. And Ryan Gouls has joined Luton Town from Wolves. And as of yesterday, Cal Duran has joined Leeds, the goalkeeper from Newcastle. Leonardo has joined Wolverhampton Town from Brighton. Sam Maguire has so transfers are slightly slowing down as clubs try and rebuild their squads, get them ready for the main fixtures, but there'll probably be a lot more to come following the end of the season and nearing. But there's still a few big transfers to talk about. Probably most highly one is Chelsea and their bid for Caicedo. So at the moment, Chelsea had an £80 million bid this week rejected by Brighton, but they look to maybe push on and look at other targets. But they are in the market. They have agreed a fee for a midfielder. And They have signed Rennes midfielder Ukachako, 19-year-old, likely to go on loan until next season, but Pochettino will make a choice. One of the biggest talking points is still Mbappe, where he's going to end up. It doesn't look like Real Madrid would need to get a number of funds. It looks like it's going to be over nearly 200 million if they want to sign him, but it's likely that he'd probably go for free. Chelsea are still interested, with Arsenal and Liverpool all sounding out maybe loans, or whether they want to get on a 1-year deal. But it's still the highly destined location is Real Madrid. David Raya from Brentford, he currently is looking to be sold, and a lot of clubs are looking to sign him. Most shock was Arsenal. Arsenal are now looking for him to be competition to David to Ramsdale, and see whether he can compete with him. Bayern Munich are also looking at him as a maybe long-term replacement to Neuer or Summers. Forest are in talks with Arsenal to sign Matt Turner. They want a loan and an obligation to buy. It's understood that Fulham are looking to sign 2 keepers. They also are in talks with Manchester United to re-sign Dean Henderson on loan. Mario Icardi is heading to Galatasaray. He's reached an agreement with them and PSG on a 3-year deal. Galatasaray will be paying €10 million for this, while Icardi will be paid £6 million. He was on loan there last season, scoring 22 goals and 7 assists in 24 appearances, helping them reach the title. Wilfried Zaha has also joined them as well. PSG have signed Barcelona keeper Tenes on a 3-year deal. Mane looks as he has his medical for Al Nassr. US midfielder Musa is to join AC Milan for €20 million as he moves away from Valencia. He is set to follow his US international Christian Pulisic to the San Siro this summer. Saints centre-back Mohamed Selassie is set to join Monaco, and the League One side will pay €15 million for him, he was also a target for Fulham. Burnley have submitted an offer for Galatasaray right-back Boye. They have submitted a bid for the 22-year-old, and it's said to be around 25 million. Inter Miami are still keen to sign Luis Suarez. Suarez is set to terminate his contract at the end of the year, despite having another year on it. He wants to join Lionel Messi, Busquets and Alba. Manchester United are aiming to seal striker Highland in the coming days. United have agreed a deal already for a 5-year deal, and they just need to agree terms now. Mason Greenwood is reportedly desperate to stay at Manchester United amongst uncertainty around his future. Nicholas Bishop is set to leave the club on a permanent basis. Harry Kane is close to a historic deal to join Bayern Munich. Looks to be around 85 million. Liverpool are also remaining in talks to sign Belgian midfielder Lavia after seeing an initial bid of 34 million plus 4 million add-ons rejected. Chelsea will focus their efforts on signing forward Wehi from Montpellier, who they plan to loan to their sister club Strasbourg. Atlanta have open talks with Nottingham Forest over signing Emil Dennis. Eric Ten Hag has been forced to rethink his plan to sell Scott McTominay to West Ham following an injury to Keba Mano during the US tour. West Ham are not expected to make another bid for Harry Maguire after they had a £20 million bid rejected. The English's price tag and wages are too much for the club. Aston Villa are plotting the move for 27-year-old winger Adama Traore, who is a free agent following his departure from Wolves. Liverpool are set to miss out on £7.5 million in add-ons from Bayern Munich should the striker leave the Bundesliga side. Laporte will leave Man City if they complete the signing of Jose Corrado from RB Leipzig. PSG have rejected a prospect of selling Marquinhos amongst interest from Al Nassr. Roma have agreed a deal to sign West Ham striker Samaka on loan with a £19 million option to buy. Aston Villa are continuing their efforts to sign Barcelona's Ferran Torres, but the financial profit package offered to the Spanish forwards did not meet his expectations. Former Everton winger James Rodriguez will be presented as a San Paulo player on Sunday, with the Colombian international leaving on a free after leaving Limpiras. Edison Cavani and Villarreal have agreed a deal to terminate the striker's deal as he looks to be going to South America. Real Sociedad are interested in the signing of Tottenham fullback Sergio Reguilon. Manchester United could be in the running for Mohamed Kudus after a potential offer to Danny van der Beek to his former club as part of an exchange. Nathan Ake has ended any transfer speculation after signing a 4-year deal with Man City. Verratti is close to agreeing a move to Al Hilal from PSG. Pablo Dybala looks to be signing a new contract at Roma, ending any transfer speculation he is to leave. El Fetihad have confirmed the signing of former Celtic striker Moussa Dembele, and Mourinho is ready to add Everton striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin to his stable players signed from the Premier League to beast up and to cover Tammy Abraham's injury he sustained at the end of last season. So yeah, that wraps up this week's podcast. I hope you had a good week. So all the main transfers, obviously, if you want to keep up to date with all the latest transfers, please check out our Twitter and Instagram pages. Definitely a place to be to keep up to date and posting quite regularly on them now. We also attended a pre-season match between Brentford and Leatherhead this week, so please check out our matchday report from that for the game, and look forward to seeing what your thoughts are on that. So I hope you have a good week. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
For all the latest news, transfers and football articles, check out thepitchsider.com. It's the place to be. Contact us on our socials. Instagram and Twitter is @thepitchsider, or via email is thepitchsider@hotmail.com.